Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution. Monster on the mic, I feel like hip-hop then adopted me. You pussy niggas shook, you let them turn this to a mockery. I give a fuck about their recognition. I'm trying to spit the fucking truth, somebody get the message. These politics, they overstate the obvious. They shooting like Stojakovic, it's war on every continent. Deeper than you know, I'm what you hate if you the government. Young black with heart, I put a hex on the establishment. Niggas playing patty cake and I was trying to regulate. A lot of them I emulate, but none of them I demonstrate. Hip-hop will never need a eulogy. They give us 10%, they trying to take away gratuity. Work for what you want, I learned that shit from fucking Aubrey. And she ain't never lied, I told her this was nothing new to me. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming. Here we go. I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she super real, she think that ain't nobody cool as me. Flying in Pacifics, I'll be ripping till I'm gone. I sit back and blaze away like I'm Akeem Olajuwon. But I guess that's what I need in life, cause I don't get no sleep at night. So I'ma just keep grinding till my people see the morning light. This may be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming.
No, I didn't look really sad, you idiots. The damn screen stopped and stuttered, and I had to restart it, you stupid idiots. Welcome in. It's SATURDAVE in the Copious Kingdom, and I hope all is well. Good God, I feel sweaty and tired as hell. But I hope that you all are here with good might, or else I'll have to throw you over the top rope and say good night. I don't know. How you doing on this wonderful Saturday? We're hanging out. We're having ourselves a day. I see ourselves some wonderful mush pups in the chat. Rennie, Voltage, Mike, Gale, Bulbit, Stormy L, Purple Paw Prince, Mark, Seraphita. Why is my camera doing this again? Yo, what is... All right. Oh, it's the fucking... I know what it is. It's the cable. It's the cable. See, I can't find my normal cable that I use. And that's what's happening. It's a cable problem. Son of a bitch. I unplugged my normal cable last night, and I couldn't find it. Shit. Hold on, I'm coming. Time. All right, that should fix it. That should fix it. Come on now. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Come on. Oh my God. All right. Does the camera want to work now? I don't know if the camera wants to work now. Let's see if the camera wants to work now. Hey, there's the camera. Look at that. Right down on my fat fucking body. All right. Let's see if I can fix this. All right. Well, if you still care, here I am. If you still give a fuck. Welcome in. It's Dead on Dave Live. It only took me 7 minutes, but I think we got it. I think we're rocking. Oh, my God. Here, can you hear that? Yeah, that's good. You can hear that too. Hey, what's going on, Trippy Savage? How you doing, Fake? What's up, Christina Vina? How you doing? I am so sorry all these don't happen there. I don't know. I took everything apart last night, and I obviously didn't put everything back together correctly. But we're here. We're live. It's been a long week, and I am definitely ready to get copious with all you sexy asses tonight. I think we need to start with a rip. That's agitating. So how we doing? Well, we're going to do the dark thing again. Oh, great. Here, I'll just turn you off now because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it. We're just going to go straight, regular background. That works beautifully. There we go. Happy days. Everybody happy? Dave's happy. Let's go. So, I don't know. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. So look, it's been a long week. We got a lot going on. Lots of cool stuff happening. We're here. We're rocking in the Discord. We got the things happening. I got some videos that are going to be dropping in the next few days. So while the content has been flowing the last few days, just know I have been doing shit. There has been things. I am getting into live commentary as well. I am setting up all of the things that I usually do. We are going to have ourselves a show. We are not giving in to this shit. No, we're not. So, all right. Yeah, life's good. You know, things are going well. Things are rocking and a popping. I can't complain too much. You know, we just keep on going. The Rock. I saw The Rock return to SmackDown last night. I actually don't have that in my docket, but I did see that. SmackDown looked like it was a hell of a show. Now, I don't know if it's still getting glitching. Fake, just fucking ignore it for me right now, okay? Just ignore it for me right now, buddy. I'm begging you. For my fucking sanity. I'm begging you. Just ignore it. Who fucking cares? I'll fix it later, okay? I'll fix it fucking later. Just shut up. Just shut your sweet face. Shut the fuck up. It's okay. We'll be fine. All right. Holy God. So I want to jump right into stuff because I want to get into the main story. I don't want to be on all night either. So I want to get right into all the kit and caboodles and things. Let's go ahead and rock it out. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. I'm not going to lie. That pissed me off. This whole beginning here just irritated the living nutsack off of me. Can't even begin to explain it to you. The kid at my work did not know who that the Rock was a wrestler. Yeah, I believe that with how long it's been. All right, because since The Rock has been like The Rock in wrestling, you know, so I could totally get that. I can understand it. It doesn't make me go, oh, too much, you know. We got a few videos. We got a couple of things we're gonna talk about. So this is Will I Am from the Black Eyed Peas. This is not like something you do. This is just an interesting story about Prince Michael Jackson and James Brown. It's a great one. He recounts something that happened. I actually found the real video and watched the full clip. This is amazing. This actually happened.
James Brown, Michael Jackson. You'll see James Brown say, Micah Jackson. Micah, you out there? Michael Jackson. So Michael comes on stage, does his thing. I love you. Michael whispers in James Brown's ear. James goes back on the mic and says, and give it up for Michael. That I bring up. What? Yeah! Prince,
I still say fuck Jim Cornette.
And then Prince is on the shoulders of his bodyguard. and they bring him up on stage. And then Prince gets up on stage and rips the guitar in half. And then he grabs on this pole that's on the stage. And he thinks it's secure, so Prince falls into the audience.
Oh, this really happened, man.
Prince thought that he was sabotaged. Go on YouTube.
And this is a true story. Prince did think he was sabotaged by that. He actually held a little bit of a grudge. This is one of those stories that kind of talks about the Prince, Michael Jackson angle, which was always interesting. Now both guys are dead. We'll never know. But I love that. I miss the days when superstars interacted like. We don't have stars like that anymore. You know, we have the aging stars that are still alive, but music in the industry doesn't have stars like that. And it just doesn't feel like it's the same. And nothing does. Maybe that's just age. I'm old. Fuck it. Who cares? Look. I think the last show I did was like Monday. You know, I don't know if I actually got to react and tell you guys how happy. I know I put out a Twitter video. But let's just look at the Manning cast when they found out the horrible news about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, so tragic.
Eight is pretty. No, he's down. He's down. No, it's his ankle.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
He's
This is what he gets. This is what this pompous asshole gets.
What if they got him in the ankle?
God, look at that. Frail. It's because you're 40. It's because go back in your mud pit. It wasn't even that hard of a tackle. Jesus. But I do want to note that that's Leonard Floyd, former Chicago Bear. I'm just saying.
And there's another three-step, Pate. We're trying to get the ball out quick. The left tackle's cutting the ball, thinking the ball should be out on a quick game.
And Floyd's a rocket. I loved him as a Bear. I miss Leonard Floyd. And I'm glad that he's the one that ended Aaron Rodgers' career. Now he's like, oh, I'm coming back. Tell me I can't do it. Watch me. I can't wait till his 40 fucking plus year old body fails him again. God, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
Holy, a whole lot. Holy.
Four plays. I had to listen to all this shit from New York Jets fans all offseason. I had to listen to Aaron Rodgers. I'm in my mud pit. Oh. I had to listen to all this fucking shit. All these New Yorkers around here. Oh, they're going to be so great. Oh, yeah. 4 plays. Over. It makes me happy. Abby, thank you for the thumbnail tonight. You did a fantastic job. Give it up for the Abby Blackbird.
Hopefully they can go over there and who is the backup? Richard Todd or Ken O'Brien?
It's their
Wilson
first
still
round.
plays there?
Yeah. Yes, he's still there.
Man, Peyton Manning did not know that friggin' Wilson, Zach Wilson was still the backup quarterback. He was like a number 1 overall pick and shit. He was like the Jets number 1 a couple of years ago. My God. So great. God, I hate Aaron Rodgers. We missed a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, it was the last show that we did because we missed a whole bunch. It was kind of a weird, wild, incredible week in wrestling. Nia Jax came back and may have killed Rhea Ripley.
Second row!
Holy God.
Ripley goes splat. Nia Jax makes it.
Nia Jax is back. I love Nia Jax. I love her. I've always loved that woman. That is a gorgeous woman. I love every bit of Nia Jax. She's dangerous in the ring and she should be stopped, but my God, do I love her. Look at her. Gorgeous.
Did perfectly clear.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, those kisses were for me. Then she calls her a bitch afterwards. That's she really nice. Nice. Hey, so I know I've talked about Creed in the past because, well, I just heard the news today. Something is on the way. I dropped to my knees. I begin to pray. Something streams down my face with all wide open. No. So everyone, people talk about Creed being a Christian band, and that has kind of been accepted as fact. And I actually even accepted it as fact. I thought Scott Stapp was a crazy Christian, like really big on the Christian. Ollie, get out of there. Get out of the box. I hate that cat. Sometimes I really do. Why is he being a cock sandwich? I couldn't fucking tell you, but he is. So, but here's the thing. So I'm going to let Scott Stapp tell you exactly what the reality was with Creed and Christianity and the whole situation. This is actually pretty funny. I don't know why. I've never heard him tell this before.
Started noticing Creed was not a Christian band. The guys, in fact, when the press started noticing that there was some religious and Christian themes in our music, the guys were like in shock. Like, what are you writing about? Like, what is this? Well, this is not what we signed up for. And I get it, man. It wasn't part of their rock and roll dream.
Oh, they were like, we don't want to be in a Christian band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, I didn't either, because at the time, that's not the life that I felt that I could live and I want to. I chose a different path.
Did it add a whole nother level of pressure to seem like a Christian or like to have a?
We didn't. We talked about it. I mean, the guys were not happy because exactly what you said. They didn't want to live with that pressure and that burden. That was not something they signed up for. They signed up to be in a rock and roll band, man, and everything that came with it. And also, they knew that I wasn't living it, so they were like, "Well, why is it in there? That's not you." And I'm like, "Because I have to, man. It's I know it's right. This is what I felt called to."
So if you listen to that, you think that he's saying one thing. You think that he's saying that he wasn't like he wasn't living the Christian life. So he was obviously going and doing some party and stuff. But he's saying that that wasn't like the studio execs that were forcing the Christian music. It really was him still writing it, and he still felt that deep in his bones. But his bandmates were like, "What are you talking about? We just watched you fucking sniff an 8-ball off someone last night. What are you talking about?" So it had to be quite conflicting. But he knew in his heart who he was, and apparently, he would go uber Christian at some point. But that was just interesting, because I just always remember that being the big joke. It's like, you listen to Creed? What are you, a Christian? Heard that all the time. I just miss the days when Creed just sucked. Remember that? What if, what if, what if? Remember that shit? It was good times. Fucking Creed, man. Fucking Creed. We don't have a Creed anymore. We don't have those bands that are just so bad that they're accepted. We don't have a Creed. We don't have a Nickelback. We don't have a Dave Matthews. We don't have these bands anymore. Yeah, they kind of exist, but they don't exist. We don't have any new bands that have just gone and taken the place. We have no musical progression anymore. Here's Chris Tucker. I am very, very happy when Chris Tucker is back full-fledged in media and news, because I love Chris Tucker. I think he's hilarious. I've always been a huge fan, back from Friday to Rush Hour to the Fifth Element. I love Chris Tucker. And he disappeared for so long. It was crazy because no one really understood it. But so he's back. He's telling some stories. He had a huge comeback with Air and a few other things. It's just really great to see Chris Tucker back.
Nicest guy. He's one of my best friends to this day. We don't hang out that much, but Charlie let me borrow his Ferrari, man, when I was like, I don't know, 24 or something like that. Did you own your own? No, I didn't have one then. I asked him because I was like fearless, like, Charlie, let me borrow your Ferrari. He was like, okay, sure. I was like, what? I kept that Ferrari so long, he forgot I had it. He was like, you got a Ferrari? I said, I think I do. He said, you want to bring it back? Okay.
Giving him rides in his own Ferrari.
It's my car. Oh, Money Talk with Charlie Sheen. That's Charlie Sheen. That was the funnest movie ever, man, because I would show up late for work, and Charlie wouldn't show up at all. They were like, he arguing with me, and then all of a sudden, Charlie ain't even here. What y'all arguing with me for? Find Charlie first.
Find Charlie first before you want to yell at me. I just love it. Yeah, I don't know why all the shorts and stuff are a little bit low tonight. I don't know why. I could not tell you. I'm not going to stress about it too much because my audio is we're lucky we even have a show right now. We're lucky even everything is working. We're lucky. Oh, this is a great story. This is a fantastic story. A Wisconsin bar offered free drinks if the Jets lost. They did the same thing with the Packers promo as well. after Rodgers went down, they started running up their tabs, everybody in the bar. The news was live and when the Jets won in overtime and everyone realized they had to pay. So when the Jets were losing, and Aaron Rodgers goes down, everybody started drinking like madmen.
We're just going to keep going.
Another condition is Aaron Rodgers must start the game, but the rules say nothing about him having to finish it. So there's a loud roar when Rodgers leaves the game hurt in the first quarter. The fans say it's nothing personal.
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to Rodgers, but tonight I'm thinking with my wallet instead.
Still, some say they'll be flying high regardless of the outcome because after Sunday's game, they're in love.
I think we can work around that, especially after Jordan Love's performance yesterday. I'm not too down in the dumps after that, so.
Enjoy.
And the mood has changed considerably. That is because the Jets just won the game on a long touchdown in overtime. You could take a look. This is the reaction.
The Jets win, and now everybody has to pay their bar tabs. And people were in there running it up, and now they have to pay their bar tabs. So the bar has been running this promo, and they're going to keep running it the rest of the year. But they won big tonight. They won huge on that night. It was just, and I not that I ever want anything good to happen to anything in Wisconsin, but hey, there's one good thing there. That's pretty damn funny. So I thought that was great. Jets winning there. If you haven't seen it, this is a fantastic commercial. I'm just gonna play it because I love it. I don't care. I love this commercial. This is Mike, height of Mike. This is great.
Nice shot.
This is Mike at 39 years old, man. 39, still trying to figure out if he could do it.
Let's see what you can do now. Let's go, man. Don't smile, kid. How much you want? All day. Oh, gotta stay down on that. I got that. You got what?
That's so cool.
Youngster for you. Just when you thought it was safe to come outside. But you want to score again? I want to score again?
Such a good commercial.
We're not done. Excuse me. Had enough? Well, look here, sucker. You reach, I'll teach you. We'll see. Lesson just started. Come on. That's ugly. Could have done. You should have done.
Should have done.
Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next? Get your young ass out there.
I love that. I love that. Look, if you're not into Michael Jordan, I don't know what to tell you. Mike was a phenomenon, still is a phenomenon in so many ways. And I have a new attachment to Michael Jordan because I sell his shoes every day. I get to go and sell Jordans, and I get to get all these incredible Michael Jordan shoes that come in every day. I get to sell them, find them in nice places. I'm restoring them now, all this great stuff. It's really cool. I have a whole new appreciation for Michael Jordan on a whole nother level. So pretty cool. Get yourself some MJ. This is great. This is just one of those stories that just makes me happy deep down in the cockles of my heart because AEW, AEW likes to pretend that they're not WWE. They like to act that they're an alternative, that they're different, that there's something. They act like there is actually a difference. But there's not. I mean, if you need any evidence of that, just watch any of their pre-shows and then accidentally click on a 2016, 2017 WWE kickoff panel, and you're going to notice the difference. They shoot the same. They look the same. Everything's the damn same. The panel's even the same now. It's quite interesting to see them go this route, considering they wanted to be so different. But it hasn't just been that. These guys are just as big of a liars as WWE ever has been. They fudge numbers, they fudge facts, they try to act like they're the cat's pajamas. They try to act like they're doing all these amazing things when they're doing some great things. But WWE gets criticism constantly for making everything more grandiose and bigger than things actually are. Fudging numbers, not accounting for it fully. And they get taken to task for it almost every pay-per-view. Well, AEW, once again, since they're so much not like WWE, they went ahead and pulled an amazing show in England at Wembley. And they had huge numbers, and throughout the whole course, all these words were about how, they were going to set records and break records and all this stuff, 100,000, all this bullshit, right? So They go on and they 81,000 something, right? That's what they end up hitting. 81,000 something. Biggest something. And everybody's something. Will Ospreay goes ahead and gets that number, 81,035, tattooed on him. Why? I don't fucking know. Well, he's barely a part of AEW. I don't understand this. He would later delete this, but he got it with that. The tattoo may no longer hold any significance because a report came out from the actual government of how many people passed through the turnstiles at Wembley Stadium, and it was not 81,035. It was 72,265. And the interesting thing about this is the 81,000 was the attendance figure, the paid attendance, and they were talking about how that number was the authentic number, how it already accounted for any of the comps and all that type of stuff. Well, the 72,265 who passed through the turnstiles, I guarantee you that is not the full number, because there are people who were comped who passed through those turnstiles. So the number is probably going to be in the 60s. Ultimately, I could see that number being in the fucking 60s of paid attendance. And all we had to hear was from Tony Khan and all the AEW zealots about all the blah, 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 blah. I'm so fucking tired of it. Just shut up and let your fucking company do the job. Just shut up. There's no need for the extra. You bring out the tribalism, then you cry about tribalism. Shut up. Fans are the worst. Shut up. Jesus, shut up. Anyways, here's one of my favorite things to do every so often. I love when we get to see player finds in the NBAs. We get to see, like, every so often we got to calibrate what is going to get you what. So here are some great finds in the NBA. Dick grab, 15K. Dwayne Wade, 25 for the throat slash. Humping, 25K from Jimmy Buckets. That's Dwight Howard with the licking, 35K. And the middle finger by Kyrie gives you the full 50. That's pretty great. I don't even remember this one, but I know I put it in here for a reason. It's one of those lookalike cams, and apparently the best. This is Vanessa Williams type stuff. They save the best for last. Let's see. Lisa Kudrow, kind of. I could see that. Jonah Hill. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. A little bit of Jordan. Oh, Danny Trio. We love Danny Trio. Oh, yeah. You know what? There's going to be a big portion of the audience that does not get this joke, I just realized. And you know what? I don't care. This joke's for those who get it. If you get it, you get it. If you get it, you're awesome. And then finally, Will Ferrell. Now, if you don't know, that man is not Will Ferrell, and that man is not a random person in the stadium that day. That man is Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith. This is true. So this is, and I love kayfabe. I love when people have callbacks to things that they've had going for a really long time. And Chad Smith and Will Ferrell have had an epic rivalry feud for, like, it's got to be over 10 years, maybe 15 years. It's been a long time. Like, these two have battled on late night comedy. And I want to say, I think it's even been on Jimmy Fallon, where, he's in the news right now. Jimmy Fallon's getting called out for being a shitbag. But they've actually, yes, there's actually a lot of really good videos of, here, I'll show you one of them. Will Ferrell and Chad Smith drum battles, because they look incredibly alike. It's a really funny bit they've done. Will Ferrell, Chad Smith, Chad Smith drum off. The fact that Will Ferrell was even able to hold his own a little bit is pretty great.
Enough small talk. I mean, I think you can feel the crispiness in the air, the energy that's here. Yeah. You know what the audience wants. You know
Look at that.
You know what America wants.
Look at this. And this was 9 years ago.
The better drummer, Will Ferrell, or the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith. You guys ready to do this?
It's amazing. I want to get to where we get to see Will.
Take notes, Chadwick.
I don't know if that's actually him playing. I don't think that's him playing, personally.
And that's how it's done.
It almost looks like it's not Will playing. But no, it is. It's him playing.
Cute. Do you play for the lukewarm Chili Peppers?
It's fucking great. It's fucking amazing. Seeing these two go at it is so amazing. It's fucking great. I fucking love this. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the full clip. It is really just amazing seeing those two go. So it's a long rivalry. So seeing these two have a moment right here is just awesome. That's a long, deep callback. Long, deep callback. Fucking great. I think we got pretty much where I want to get to on all that. We got a Butterbean story, all that. Here's one more with Randy. So Randy Orton used to be one of the biggest pieces of shit in wrestling, okay? He had quite the turnaround, you know, finding age and marriage and happiness and a good woman and all this type of stuff. And Randy is not the biggest piece of shit in the world anymore. Well, Cody Rhodes tells a story about that and why he's not happy.
Randy is like, I was told that Randy is like a family man now and doesn't get in trouble, and I won't have it. Because the very first time I met Randy, we were in Cape Town, South Africa.
I have no idea why it's so damn low. It's driving me nuts.
And he had his hands around the urinal, and he goes, "Hey, Code, look at this." And he yanked the entire urinal out of the wall. Like a superhuman strength, plaster ripping off the thing, flood just sweeping out into the lobby, and he giggled. And I thought, I don't know if I got what it takes to be a wrestler. I don't know. Had this big talent meeting the next day. Hey, there were security cameras, guys. We want to know who did it. He walked up in front of everybody, said, "Hey, I want to know who did it." Like, this is amazing. This guy is
Randy used to just be absolutely bugging. Absolutely bugging. All right, before we get to the main soup du jour, this is actually pretty great. Not great. It's kind of crazy that there's some backlash over some of the fighter pay and some of the things that are coming out. Essentially, they're taking pretty much half. Now, it's been explained. So here's pretty much the explanation of it. The flight medical explanation. The UFC is charging fighters for medicals and flights, simply to take out their pre-tax income instead of just for paying it. There is some explanation with it, and I know that I saw it. It pays for your... Okay, yeah, here's where the big thing is. So the UFC pays, especially for the big international flights where you got to go overseas and everything, they'll pay for you and one of your corners and have your abilities to have the other corners flights taken out of your check. So for some of these, it got pretty pricey with being in Australia. So people were not getting those big of a payday as they're used to on some of these. You know, some people who were getting $48,000, they were literally getting half their check taken from them. So it's quite a big one, but you're not going to be able to avoid that when you start getting to the international paychecks. It's just kind of part of what goes with the territory. So it's one of those is what it is. All right. This is one of the more interesting stories that I've seen in a while, mainly just because of how insane this is and how quietly insane it's been. So CoffeeZilla has done a great job once again of exposing this entire situation with Theo Vonn, Brendan Schwab, Whitney Cummings, Jim Cornette, all these people being defrauded by Cast Media, and this absolute fucking muppet of a human being, Colin Thompson, okay? So I highly recommend you watching the entire video in its entirety. I want to give you the cliff notes. I want to give you the idea of what's going on with this, and we'll take some calls, questions, comments, concerns, hope streams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, whatever else you might have on this motherfucking Saturday. Let's see you guys get hype in the chat for a little Saturday of copiousness. And we've got, this is just, it's pretty, this one's pretty insane. And I like this video by CoffeeZilla because it's not just your typical, this is what's going on. I'm just glad there's no dicks being shoved in anywhere in this one. This is just about sheer fuckery and greed and stupidity and incompetence and mismanagement. But there's a good moral at the end of this that we kind of forget. Like the people who are manipulating, the MCNs, the middlemen, all these managers that are making the deals and then taking, it's crazy how many of them are out there. There's people have gotten too comfortable with them, and you're going to see what I mean. Let's watch a little bit of this.
$4 million was stolen from these podcasters, and I decided to investigate. I found the man responsible, but before we confront him, let's go back to where it all started, when Theo Vonn, a comedian, released this.
Our podcast was defrauded. We were stolen from. The company that did it is Cast Media.
See, here's the thing. If you think you're going to defraud a comedian, if you think you're going to steal a comedian's money, you're out of your goddamn mind. Like, maybe you'll get away with it with like a podcaster or just a regular old guy. You're not going to get away with this with comedians, especially comedians that are kind of brought up with the old school mentality, that have been around for a while, that maybe have been trained or under tutelage of some of the people who are old school. Because comedians, they're like rock stars in the way that you gotta pay them for their gigs, man. We get paid for the attempts. We don't get paid for the successful of the bit. If we bomb, we bomb. That's just how it works in comedy. So, they understand in ways that other people in other professions don't. Comics, they are fearless, and they're going to call your ass out. So this was the stupidest thing that anyone could have done, let alone a company that would merge or be absorbed by another one like Podcast One.
And the man that did it is Colin Thompson. In total, I've just between talking with folks, there's up to $4 million that I know of. We're in the six figures. I know of podcasts that are in the seven figures.
Now, when I saw this, I had the same two questions on my mind as you do. One, who is Colin Thompson? And two, y'all are making 6 to 7 figures doing podcasts?
It's crazy how much money is in podcasting, guys. It's crazy. And like, he makes a joke here. He actually has to dial it back in the chat because he caught shit. Because he kind of poor-mouthed himself a little bit because the studio isn't as pricey and all that. But he makes good money, and he knows that. But still, pretty funny. So I'm just going to, once again, just let the story kind of get told. But essentially, this guy, Colin Thompson, he makes all these deals with Brendan Schwab and the other guy is with him who I can't fucking stand. That dude drives me nuts. It makes these deals with them, and they kind of get everybody else roped in a little bit because they're kind of the leaders of this little group in some ways. They kind of helped everybody else get it going. But right from the beginning, there was immediate issues because people were not getting paid. Checks were coming late. Now, I've been with an MCM myself. I was with Machinima. I was with one of the most popular and famous ones at the time. And I hated it. I hated being part of Machinima. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't feel like I gained anything from they took like 35, 40, some sort of fucking percentage from me for goddamn years. And I don't feel they ever did anything for me. I got nothing out of being with Machinima. It was stupid. It was a waste of money, and I regret signing up for it. Now, that wasn't $4 million, okay? That was not $4 million. This situation here, it goes crazier because this guy just simply spent money. So he would make these advertising deals and then spend the money and not pay the talent for the reads, for any of the appearances. He was not paying the talent.
Skip with the fast forward 15-second button. Yeah, those guys. And Cast Media would basically work with them as a middleman. They would take some money, give the podcasters the read, and then give the money. Of course, taking a cut for themselves. Now, that is simplifying it a bit, and we'll go into the details more later. But what you need to know is that Cast Media hadn't been paying their talent on time. And what started as being late for maybe a month had turned into 7, 8, 9 months late on paying, until one day Cast Media and their CEO, Colin Thompson, says, hey, we're probably going to go into bankruptcy, which means you get nothing unless you take a special deal with another podcast network.
This is because they get absorbed by Podcast One. So Cast forces deals onto their creators now, or they get nothing. You either take this deal to get bought out essentially and get some sort of money from Podcast One, who's going to be absorbing, or you're going to get absolutely nothing for your work.
Called Podcast One. Now, who's Podcast One? Well, it's an even bigger network, and they basically say, hey, we'll acquire you, pay off what you're owed, if you sign a new deal with new terms with us. If you do, you'll get back some of the money you're owed now, some of the money you're owed over 2 years, and you'll also get stock in our company. But what stock? Well,
33%, by the way. There's always a catch 33.
Podcast Network stock, a company that wasn't public yet, but as of this video now is, and is down almost 50%. Now, if you took that stock in 2 years, you could sell it. How much it's worth at that point is dubious. Now, Podcast One would say they were just trying to help. Right. It wasn't their debt, so it's a great deal. Now, the more cynical view of this is that it's kind of strong-arming creators.
So here's one of those things where I find it interesting. CoffeeZilla, he's saying like these two things are mutually exclusive. They're not. Both can be happening here. Both of these scenarios can absolutely be happening here. Podcast One could be doing the only thing that they are capable of doing, because legally they're probably very tied in what they can do, and they're not going to pay content creators what they don't have to. It's kind of the same thing that we're seeing with the streaming rights thing. Who really has to pay? Who really is responsible for payments of what? So to them, offering any type of deal, especially one that allows the creator to become part of the network and have stock options, it's a good one. To them, they can't feel like it's a bad deal because it's literally the only one they could probably offer for that makes sense. But they also understand that this type of deal is strong-arming. There's no way in the world that it's not. And now it is a choice at the end of the day, but it's a heavily, heavily strong-armed choice. You're choosing between getting a little bit and having terms that are being thrust upon you that you never intended, that you never wanted, or you literally get nothing for the years of work that you've put into it just doesn't make sense. It's a strong arm tactic, and it's certainly something that I could see them getting fucking very pissed off about. They have every right to in this one. Every right to. You know, but it's certainly both. It's certainly both.
Either take the deal or you'll never get what you're paid. I mean, podcasters like Jim Cornette were literally told, in the event that Cast is unable to close the Podcast One asset sale, it will likely declare bankruptcy. So take the deal or lose everything you're owed. And to make things stranger, Podcast One was paying Cast Media in stock for every podcaster that took the deal. So if you agreed and wanted the money you were owed, you're kind of bailing out the company that got you into this mess.
Not kind of. You are. You're helping the company that got you out of it. Listen to this. Listen to that. So the company that fucked everyone originally and then sold the rights to everything that the people who were creating was doing to another company, like it's so crazy that then they would work in a deal with the company that they're being bought out from to help acquire to help get people to sign. This is like, have you ever seen Goonies? You seen where like the Goonies parents are being evicted by an asshole fucking realtor and that lives in the area and everybody hates him, This is exactly like that. This realtor, these guys know that they're hated. They know that they're the reasons why everyone's going to lose what they have, but yet they're the ones who have got to go and try to convince everybody to sign the deal. And it's always that way. It's always that way. And I don't even think it's a good move by the people who are making the deal, like like this Colin idiot. Why would you want to be the guy to convince the motherfuckers to? I don't care how much stock option that they're giving you per person you get to sign. Why would you think that that would be a good look for you? Why would you want to feel that way? You are the reason why these people are losing money. You are the reason why they are going to be struggling in some way and having a hard time paying their employees. Like, you're the last person they're going to want to hear from. Like, shut the fuck up.
So obviously some people didn't like that deal.
Yeah.
Although understandably others did and took the deal.
Sure.
And look, I'm not here to litigate whether those podcast one deals are good or bad. Frankly, it's not the point of this video. All cleanups are going to be messy.
What a great line. What a great line that is. All cleanups are going to be messy. You ever clean something up like juice? Like you try to clean a big juice mess? You ever done that? You get a mop or something. What do? You spread the juice out as you're cleaning. You're cleaning, but you're spreading it out. You're making a little bit more. Sometimes you got to bring it back in. You got to mop from the side. You got to come. You got to squeegee it. You got to get some other utensils that you weren't intending, because cleanups can be messy. I love that line. I love that line.
I did want to know, though, is how did that $4 million go missing in the first place? And to try to find out, I began to reach out to everyone, starting with Colin Thompson, to ask for his side.
So this is what's great. This is why this story caught my eye in the first place, because Colin is such a meatball. Listen to this guy.
The story.
You're being accused of basically stealing $4 million. Your clients say you defrauded them. What?
Buckle up. Buckle up. Let's see how much of this you can listen to.
What's your side of the story?
Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. You know, I wanted to talk with you because
He looks like the fucking lead singer from Maroon 5. Sugar, just please, I'm gonna steal all your money.
I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate your journalistic integrity, and I know that you're going to tell a fair story. Cass is sort of the dream of the vision of independence, you know, free speech, not bound by sort of corporate norms, the ability and the backbone to support visionary, talented, unique, independent voices, people like Theo Vonn. You know, Cass' perspective was independence is the product. There were plenty of times where, you know, we believed in a show, it ran into trouble, maybe it was canceled.
What?
Canceled in one way or another, and canceled, quote unquote. And we stood by our creators, right? Continue to support them through that time, you know, when
everybody's got a grand vision, but the grand vision, when we get to this point, everyone wants to know where the money is, not what the vision is.
Sure. You know, we built an infrastructure at Cast that I was and am tremendously proud of. I believe that over the years, we generated better revenue for creators, paid them out more than other podcasts would necessarily be able to, because we invested heavily in an infrastructure.
So once he gets past all the bullshit,
an individualized approach, anecdotally, you know,
But you're saying you pay out more, but I mean, clearly that's, you know, kind of not true, right?
Wait, but you asked for my story. Do you mind if I just tell the story? You know, we're getting to the financial difficulties.
Sure.
You know, our vision, it really worked. Creators.
So basically, let me save you a little bit of this. What this fucking asshole would do is he would front load contract deals with people to get them to sign. He would promise people guaranteed upfront money to get them to sign the deals. So, and Brendan Schwab and his stupid fucking idiot buddy make a great example of this at the end of it. They don't care. They're not reading these deals. They're getting into groups with other comedians or other podcasters, and they're talking management, and they're talking about this management company and that management company. If more than one or two of them are starting to make money off of that management company, be like, man, I'm making so much money. the other people are going to get involved with it. It's word of mouth. It's influencing, and they're not paying attention. Now, there is some culpability on those people for not paying attention to who they're getting in bed with and all that. But it's also really impossible to be able to tell early on in some of these deals. It's hard to be able to tell just how fraudulent some of these companies are, especially when you are getting paid at the beginning, or if you are getting a little bit of ill timing. If it just makes sense, if this guy's a really good con man and can make you feel good about it long enough, you can really have some damage done. And that's what happened here. So he was front loading all these deals, and he was using the numbers that he was getting with those that tactic to get people to sign on to the deals. He was taking those numbers to get better ad revenue deals from the ads, and he was getting that money paid up front. But instead of paying the creators, he bought a $1.5 million house and then said that he didn't have money to pay anybody. That's what happens. That's the spoiler. Just so you know. There's no other nuance. This is what he did. I don't have an extra. That's what the man did.
Benefited, made a lot more.
He has whatever investment coming. You're gonna get. It wasn't on you.
Didn't arrive when he said.
It was never on time. It wasn't unusual if it was like a month late.
So most of this video is CoffeeZilla breaking down Colin's lies, because Colin did a pretty good job of explaining some things to Coffe, and Coffe took some of those things at face value. But when he would dig into them farther and he starts looking and going back and talking to everybody else that are in the situation, he finds out that it was all bullshit right from the beginning. It wasn't that they just started having problems paying creators. They were having problems getting behind right from the very jump. Right from the very jump. And there was never an infrastructure. It was his infrastructure. It was his cars, his money, his homes.
A month and a half. Yeah, that 400 grand's terrible. Try 1.6 mil, bro. Right.
Wow.
Listen to this.
Just informed about firing the kid. Yeah.
And realized they were owed 400 grand on the fighter and the kid, and upwards of 1.6 million across all their shows.
Listen to this.
Now remember, Brian is just informed about firing the kid. I have to manage Thick Boy, Golden Hour, the other shows that are owed money. So Brian's like, "Can you believe this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that 400 grand's terrible. Try 1.6 mil, bro." Right.
Wow, 1.6 million. What are we doing here? Now, I should be clear, Colin denies that there were these payment issues before 2022. Your talent says that.
And obviously, they go and able to prove that that's not the truth, that they long before 2022. It's crazy.
What was coming in and what was going out.
And then he finds out that all the people that were working with him were never able to see exactly what the financials were. He would send very shady screenshots with information that was cut off. I don't understand how more questions weren't asked at the time, and there has to be more culpability for the creator there, because my God, you've got to pay attention to what's happening.
And Brian, who started talking, quote, "The ensuing damages if you were to cause this deal to..."
So now we got more threats. Colin would also go and talk to all the people that were talking about what was happening about not getting paid and making these very shady threats about if you cost us this deal, that there's litigation that could happen. This dude was out here talking out of his ass and just trying to strong arm muscle. He was desperate. He was throwing Hail Mary after Hail Mary. He was doing anything he could to make everybody quiet for as long as he could, in hopes that he can make a deal, make a sell, and then bail people out. But when he makes the deal, he buys a home.
Social media.
$0.7 million house the same year on what happened to Cast Media. Although our story doesn't stop there, because obviously that's a pretty big accusation that some of the money may have gone to a house. So I decided to look into that and found that Colin Thompson indeed bought a $1.7 million house the same year as his financial troubles. And I also found out that right about the time he was talking about declaring bankruptcy, he moved that house into a trust where the trustee was a Wyoming LLC he set up, which from where I stood looked a lot like hiding assets from a bankruptcy right before a bankruptcy. But when I confronted Colin about this, he said, I had things completely backwards. The truth is he was hiding his property for a totally different reason, a very sympathetic reason.
We anonymized our address.
So he goes on to say here, I'm just saving you from this, from the lies and from the bullshit. He goes on to say here that they were getting threats, that they were being threatened. But long story short, the threats did not line up with the timeline. The threats happened before any of the situation took place, before the information about the merger was being dropped. So this guy is just lying. He's a liar. Super liar, man. Look at the liar, liar, pants on fire.
That he tried to say this wasn't the case. So I sent a screenshot of that to Colin saying, hey, you're obviously hiding assets in this company that specializes in...
Nobody, like, we're not interacting with these people all the time. What happens is it's like, if there's an agency that this person is with and this person is with.
This is the big explanation. Listen to this idiot talk about why these deals happen. Here it is.
You know, we go, do you make money? Yeah. All right. Can you hook me up? And then,
especially when comics are talking like, man, this guy's killing it for us, man.
Yeah.
I made 1.6 million this year. And like, damn, that's more than I made. Who you think you would take me on? Then it becomes this like snowball effect, and and then everybody's there.
Yeah.
This is the issue. And look, it's not to absolve Colin. It's not to put any blame on anyone who got screwed over here. But the truth is, people are always led around with these dollar amounts. Oh, you made this much. That's how they get you in these bad contracts.
Yep.
And then they don't pay you and you're left chasing a Wyoming LLC to nowhere. So this isn't just about these podcasters. It's everywhere. It's about 360 deals in music, MCNs with YouTubers, and just honestly business people begging you to let them control your money.
Yep.
And then you getting scraps. It's as disgusting as it is common, and I really hope that any aspiring people in media learn from these mistakes and scams and realize you don't need these middleman people most of the time. But more than that, do not trust people with your business who promise you the world. In fact, usually that's the worst red flag.
So here's the thing. This is why he's ending it with this. He has to end this with a moral because he can't end it with a positive outcome. He can't tell you that everyone's going to get their money back. The reason for that is they're not. That 2 million, that 4 million, that 1.6, the 400,000, all of it, it's gone. It's gone, and it's probably never coming back. The way that people are able to use LLCs and shell companies to hide assets and do all this shit before bankruptcies and make these deals, it's beyond comprehension to me. Like, make it make sense. Make the balance sheets balance. I just don't get it. I never will. It's insane balls to me. But that's the lingo. That's the turf. I just couldn't tell you any other than that. It's pretty disgusting at the end of the day. I mean, muy disgustino. But again, what you got to do? All right. That's about all I've got. So if you have some questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and all that good stuff, feel free to jump in right now. Jump on in and hang out. Did I get it done and not see it? We did. We did. An hour. I didn't even see it. It didn't even pop up. Bandu, $40. Did it pop up on screen and I missed it? You know what? I think it probably happened when I was off screen. When I was off screen trying to fix everything, if I had to guess. Because that's my old buddy Bandy. That's my old pal. That's my dude. That's my guy. That's my homie G-Funk. Funked out with a gangsta twist. So that does mean we get to go out with a nice little rippy-dippy-doo, rippy-tippy-ta-tay. And if you don't like it, well, I think you are lame. I'm sorry for the late show tonight. I'm sorry for the not a lot of promotion. I'm sorry I was completely dead and quiet yesterday. I didn't realize I did not talk on any social medias yesterday. That's very unlike me. I do apologize for that. We'll be around the rest of the weekend. You'll see me popping up like Fast Freddy on the left. And if you get that reference, you're just 10% cooler. Let's do a rip here, and then I'll do a vape rip on the way out. So we'll even go a little real talk music on the way. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me on this copious evening. Thank you for hitting that like button if you've done so. Thank you for retweeting and all that shit as well. Go check us out on the Twitter. Check out all the other stuff that I have happening. There's going to be some fun content over the next couple of days. You're going to get your first Can Dave. You're going to get some wrestling and overall impression type of videos very soon. I'm excited for that too. Have a great night. Real Talk. Take us home. We're going to rip one mo and get the flock out of here. Have a great night. Keep it copious. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have those talented friends. Hey?
Yeah, like, cause I don't get no sleep at night, so I'ma just keep grinding till my people see the morning light. Feel like I'm Alexander's prodigy. Fuck your death threats, them niggas always talking honorary. The Pentagon the same, they trying to mold us in the pottery. But even if I die, my lyrics still a living history. You mean they treat us like we pawns and we listen cause we scared they ain't gon' beef with Genghis Khan? I'm higher than a dinosaur, she Oreo like Baltimore. I taught them what I know, that make me feel like I was Gryffindor. Get your game right, she hot, I call her sunlight. With lips like she's Brad's life, I ask her cause a crash site. But that's the way it is, I guess I play protagonist. This shit will never change, I'ma go out with her. This may be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government was scheming. Here we go. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming. Here we go. I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she super real, she think that ain't nobody cool as me. Flyer than Pacifics, I'll be ripping till I'm gone. I sit back and blaze away like I'm Akeem Olajuwon. Yeah, da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Da-da-da.
Good luck, Jay Philly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world. You dig?
We always dig each and every single day. Thank you. Real Talk about it from Messiah. Thank you all. One mo rip. Have a good night. That motherfucker smoked all my shit. Keep it copious, bitches. Good night.